Welcome to Personal Mastery Training. I'm your host, Alvin Brown, former world-class athlete turned entrepreneur and consultant. Join us as we learn from guests who have conquered their inner battles and share their journeys to success. Get ready for inspirational masterclasses and thought-provoking strategy sessions to fuel your path to personal mastery. Let's dive in. Today is a strategy episode. We have a powerful episode that delves deep into the connection between adversity and how they can help us to find our true life's purpose, which is something that so many people want and desire in life. Achieving success without purpose, actually, often leads us to feel frustration, wondering why the feeling of fulfillment eludes us, despite checking the boxes on so many of our goals. But you know what? I think I found a secret. Life's a funny thing. It has a funny way of throwing curveballs at us when we least expect it. Challenges come in all shapes and sizes, raising doubts and fears within us. Often it feels like these struggles and setbacks are insurmountable obstacles for many of us. But what if I told you that it's within these very challenges that our purpose lies waiting for us? You know the saying, right? The obstacle is the way. However, here's a caveat. In order to truly find our purpose, we must first surrender to the challenge. Not give up, but surrender. We have to give it space to teach us and guide us. When we resist or fight against the adversity we face, we close ourselves off from the potential growth and self-discovery that can spring forth a new you. Consider the oak tree. It starts as a tiny acorn, facing the challenge of breaking through the ground to reach the sunlight. Along its journey, it encounters storms, winds, and obstacles that threaten to uproot it. But with each adversity, the oak tree strengthens its roots, develops its resilience, and grows taller, reaching for the sky. Just like the oak tree, it is through the storms and challenges in your life that we too can discover our purpose. These experiences shape us, helping us align with our true selves and find a path that leads to fulfillment and growth. How many of you out there, when times are good, when the sun's shining, do you even stop to introspect and to search for what you're made of? Or would you admit it's in these times, in times of challenges and sickness and something that compromises your stability, your confidence, that you start to think more about your purpose, more about yourself, more about what I'm made of? Wouldn't you agree? Think about some of the most influential individuals through history. Many of them faced tremendous adversity, enduring setbacks that would have overwhelmed most people. Just read their bios. Yet, it was through these trials and tribulations they found their purpose. They turned their pain into passion, their challenges into opportunities for learning and growth. My other passion, other than personal development and coaching my clients, one of my first loves was osteopathy. It's a manual therapy born out of the US, Kirksville, but it was founded by Andrew Taylor Stills. He was a medical doctor in Kirksville. And apparently, the story goes, his 5 kids died of meningitis. And he felt this deep sense of grief and frustration because he couldn't help them. And it was out of this deep pain that osteopathy was formed, which ended up being his life's purpose. And today, I and thousands of others, practitioners, and the millions of patients he have helped have benefited from his pain and then the solution he found to that pain. So, my listeners, I urge you to embrace the challenges that come your way. It's not easy, but it's coming anyways. You're in it. When you're in the middle of the fire, don't stop. But here's what I want you to do. Instead of fighting, I want you to surrender to them. Surrender to the challenge. Surrendering allows it to teach you and guide you toward your purpose. See, this podcast, Personal Mastery Training, I was sitting comfortable in my practice as an osteopath. And everything was going great. Full waiting list, doing really well, getting every ego stroked. People are saying, I'm getting great results. They're coming in droves. Pandemic happened. I couldn't work. But I was fighting it like most of us. This is not happening. This is it to me, 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 me. But after a while of struggling and fighting and pushing back and denying it's happening, I surrendered and I let the lessons come in. I embraced the uncomfortable moment. For within this moment, the pain of the pandemic and me sitting at home after 25 years, earning next to nothing except a government subsidy, that I learned most about myself. And I found truth in calling, and that's something that ignites my soul that I've been playing with as a side hustle. Now it became my main hustle. Remember, personal mastery is about finding the strength and wisdom within to navigate life's challenges. Personal mastery. It's not about mastering anybody. It's about mastering you inside. It's about recognizing that adversity is not an obstacle to overcome, but a pathway to our purpose. Let your challenges be stepping stones towards personal growth, fulfillment, and a life of meaning if you surrender. As I'm always reminding you, don't get through the tough stuff. Get from it. Let it teach you and mold you to become stronger, better, more resilient. Because life promises us nothing. And it's often filled with lessons and challenges. So guess what? We best find a way to deal with it effectively and learn from it. It's going to keep coming. So, how do we do this? It's always a how. I can say all these things, but I always want to leave you with some strategy. I know it sounds easy. I know when you're going through something, to a challenge, you're deep in, you're emotionally engaged, you can't see out, it gets dark. It never seems easy in the moment. So what do? I have four things that I want you to remember. 1, take some time for reflection. And I don't mean worry and ask why, because why will debilitate you. I want you to take some time, reflect, create a space between you and your problem and your challenge so you can think. And again, this is not time to worry. That's easy. It's time to think, reflect back. How did you get here? 2, journal and reflect. Continue the reflection and journaling. What journaling does for me, and it'll do for you, do you know you can help somebody else so easily, but you can't seem to help yourself? Because there's no distance between you and your problem. What I found at journaling, it enables me to give distance, to look at the problem, to look at it objectively, not so subjectively and emotional. It creates a clear vision. Number 3, find a purpose. Find a lesson in the challenge. What is this moment teaching you? If you had a breakup, again, a second, third breakup, and it's devastating to you, what are you learning from the partners that you're choosing? What does it say about you, your self-esteem? Why are you choosing this type? If you just keep on rolling into the next one to fill the space, to quiet the noise, then you're just repeating what you've already done. You're going to have the same results. If you lost a business opportunity, what happened? What step didn't you take? What didn't you think of? Something to reflect on. And 4, find support. Someone who can guide you, help you through. Someone who's not engaged in the same emotion. And don't go with that friend who also suffered the same loss. And because they're going to tell you, this is what happens. You're going to commiserate with them. If they don't have the tools, the resources, the experience to help you, don't go to them for help. Or else you won't get the right advice. And it'll keep you stuck. So those are the 4 ways I think we need to do what we need to do to get through the tough stuff. It's going to happen again. Remember, don't get through it. Get from it. All right. So that's your mastery strategy lesson for today. How to turn challenges and setbacks into the setup for something better in the future. And remember, challenges are not there to break you, they're there to teach you. However, you do have to surrender to learn from it. If you're fighting, so busy fighting, it's hard to see the lesson. So there are opportunities waiting, and anytime you transform, anytime you grow through, remember Andrew Taylor Still. The pain, imagine losing your 5 kids. And what would you do with that? He stepped back and he created something unbelievable. And you can go on about stories about in the bios about discoveries. Most discoveries are happening under times of tension. Why would you solve a problem if you didn't have one? Right? Think about it. All right. So if you know someone who's going through it, but they are persevering and pushing and fighting, you can hear it in their language. Share this podcast. You never know. If it's coming from you, maybe you're too close to them and they can't hear you. Maybe it's coming from someone else, an outside voice. They can finally hear what you've been telling them. You may have been telling them exactly what I'm saying, or you may need to hear it yourself, but someone you know needs to hear this message. Potentially, could be a lifesaver. One idea, well executed, can change your life forever. That's my mentor, Dr. Tom Hill. He told me that. And I want to share that with you. Just one idea. You don't need 10. One idea. All right. If you haven't done that yet, please rate, subscribe, share, like, join the community. I'm going to keep coming at you because this is my life's passion. And this doesn't get better from here. I start messy and it gets better in the middle and it starts to get better at the end. But I'll be here when you need me. All right. If you need any more information, everything's in the show notes. Visit us, connect with me if I can help you. My roster is getting pretty tight. It's getting limited, but I'm always going to be anything I can do to help you to elevate and get to that next level. That's my passion on this planet. All right, until next time. Peace and love. We'll talk.